Right, now this is good for me. We all know that I absolutely love my Renaults. Absolutely love my Renaults. Now, about 2 years ago, my first ever car was an R26 Megane, and I reckon about 50, maybe 50% of my whole audience actually came from that car, and everyone said it was the best time in the channel. That's because I was absolutely, truly the most in love with a car I've ever been in my entire life, and that came across in the videos, and I just think it was the best time for my life, and it was the best time for the channel. Now, since I sold the R26 because I just wanted to move on to something different, I've never even sat in one, let alone driven one. So here we have a white R26, you get me? It's a bit of a sit private plane, not gonna lie. I always dreamed of making my R26 like an absolute track weapon, but sadly at the time I didn't have enough knowledge and I didn't have enough money to do that. So this is exactly what I wanted my R26 to be. This is a personification of the vision that I seen when I was like 19, 20. It was more than 2 years ago. Pretty much had everything done to it. It's fully forged. It was fully forged in January. Everything suspension wise has been done. It's got full track coilovers, BCRM coilovers, got Godspeed 2-piece discs. Basically, this car is what an R26 should be. R26s are pretty much track ready out the factory as they are. They literally make it as light as possible. All the wings basically are nothing. The doors flex it as anything. Everything on this car is light. The only thing that is a bit more track ready than this is the R26R, which comes from cage and plastic windows and everything. This is basically Renault's idea of the perfect track car. Now, if anyone asks me what is the best car you've had and what's your favorite car, everyone who's already asked me will know this. I've always said my R26. It was basic R26. It still had standard power. This is forged. It's got an RS 250 turbo, so it's running just over 300 horsepower, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I always say cars on the road need to be less than 400 horsepower, and this thing, you'll see how it drives. Now, the big bomb drop, everyone's going to expect me to say this is my car, and I wish I could say it's my car, but it's not my car. We have bought this car, but we haven't bought it for me. We bought it to give away for track car giveaway, so we will be raffling this car off on one of you lucky bastards. I'm not even going to bleep that out because I'm so jealous of whoever wins this. You're going to be able to win this. I'm not entirely sure how much. It's probably going to be around the £6 mark that you're going to win this absolute, I can't even carry on because I'm going to get too jealous. So we're going to do a bit of a review today, and we're going to go back to the roots. Now, I've always said, this is one of the best cars I've driven. It's been about 3 or 4 years since I've drove one of these cars. So we're going to hop in it, do a drive, and see if it lives up to my old expectations, and if it lives up to the reputation of me saying it's one of the best cars you can buy in the market. I actually thought I would have grown out of liking this car, but I never did. I never grew out of it. And driving it here today is just reinstated the fact that this is genuinely probably my favourite ever car. Definitely front wheel drive. Obviously I do like my rear wheel drive stuff. Front wheel drive things, I genuinely don't believe there's anything that can compete with this car. I absolutely love my Renaults and I love my Clios, but this is just the creme de la creme. And I would love to own an R26R one day, but as I said, they're mega money. It's had a lot of money spent on it, and it's been very track orientated, so it's had new suspension everywhere. If you want the specifics of that, I will put all the mod list in the description. It's got BCRM track coilovers, which are really stiff. You'll notice that on the drive. They're very bouncy over bumps. Really stiff coilovers. It's had new track rods everywhere, wheel bearings, arms, poly bushes, everything. And in January it had £7,000. We got a £7,000 receipt of the forge. The engine has been forged, and all the gearbox was redone and everything with it. Now these are creeping up in value a lot. Put it this way, when I bought mine 3 years ago, they were half the value of what they are now. These are creeping up so fast, and I understand why. Like, these are genuinely the best cars. I'm not going to say the best car I've ever driven, but they have a huge soft spot in my heart. And I remember mine, it was just incredible at everything. The way it comes on boost, it literally feels like a 5-pot Mark II Focus RS. The torque, but it's like that, but just so much lighter and nimbler. It's crazy. Just watch how quick the power is, like, just look at that. Holy shit, I want one again! Best thing about these is just the power delivery. The turbo is so perky, but you still get the top end of an NA car, and the chassis is just, it is literally insane. You've got the brakes there as well. Holy shit, man. I have to be quiet then. It gives you so much confidence in every area. There's no chassis flexing, there's no twitchiness. The brakes are there, the power's there, the handling's there. The steering rack is super responsive, and the confidence that these give you. The chassis is just unbelievable. If you've never driven an R26, find a friend, or I don't know, pretend to be a YouTuber and go and review one, because there's literally, I can't put it into words. I genuinely can't. So much faster than 300 horsepower. I always said this about my Megane. My Megane was 260. It always felt about 300s. They just, the way they put the power down is just so aggressive. If you didn't know much about the Meganes, you have a Megane 225, you have a Megane 225 F1, and then you have basically the R26s. The R26s have 260 horsepower, 230 horsepower instead of 225 for the standard. And they come with like the nice seats. So they've got the nice, beautiful Alcantara Caros. These aren't in this anymore. They've got the Corbels, which are beautiful, really lightweight sort of feel seat. But you still get great visibility, and they're still relatively comfortable. So this has got all the fancy bits on as well. It's got all the splitters. There's a different diffuser on the back, not sure the brand for the single exit exhaust. It's got the Maxim Design splitter kit on it, and it's also got the R26R spoiler. That's a huge mod for the R26s. The standard R26s come with like a flat back spoiler on top of the roof, and it just looked a little bit odd, like something's missing. So everyone puts the R26R spoilers on. They cost a few £100, and obviously this has got that. And it's, I personally think that R26R spoiler totally transforms the whole look of the car. We've also got a private reg that says R26 YGM. We're having a little bit of a debate what that means. It either means you got mail or it means you get me. I'm going to go with R26. You get me? You get me? Now, I've always been a huge fan of Renault Sports. I genuinely think in terms of what they want and what they achieve, like in terms of creating a vision and making it happen, they're the best. Like the Clio V6 is such a fucking cool car. The Clio Williams, you know, I just feel like they envision something and they make it happen perfectly. This is a lot of the Renaults are known for, you know, their handling, basically the handling, their track aspect, handling brakes, always amazing. You know, this has got the Brembo calipers on, but this one has got the power as well. This is literally one of the best all-round track cars, personally, I think you can literally buy, especially for the money, even though they are creeping up now. That's probably why. They're just literally, I literally can't put words on how good of a car these are. Like, I can sit here and say it's good, it's this, it's that and that. You need to get in one, go around some country lanes, and if not, get on track with one. My mate had a 225 Megane and it was running rings around folks RS's, Mark III folks RS's, running rings around them. Literally the only thing that's letting it down right now is just the driver error. Like literally driver error. This car has so much more to give. The only thing backing off then was just me. Wow. Now not only does it perform the part, these look the part. They're such beautiful, aggressive cars. The front bumper is so aggressive and low and wide. It's got a fat ass. Who don't love a fucking fat ass? The ass on the back is huge. And as soon as you get that spoiler on, it just takes, I genuinely think these in this white and liquid yellow, they're literally one of the most beautiful hot hatches literally ever made. I'm gonna stick to that statement. I could do this all day. Oh my god, it is so fast. Renault have a very specific suspension setup where you usually have the strut and the hub which both turn. Renault, the strut goes round and they have a swivel hub in the middle. So that's a big factor towards it as well. And obviously 100,000 different things, but this car is literally insane. Like they are insane. They're good enough standard, but when you've got this many mods on and this specific to one trade, which is going fast round corners, is unmatchable. Back to that point, is this one of my favourite ever cars? 100%. If someone said, what would you rather have again, one of these or an Evo? I hate to say it, but I'd 100% choose one of these. People are going to think I'm just lying about this because we're trying to sell this car, and that is true. We are trying to sell this car. I'm not going to lie, we are. But just believe me. The one thing I changed about mine was the steering wheel. I'm not a huge fan of the standard wheels. People keep them on because they've got the cruise control on the wheel. I bypassed that because I got one of the custom made button things. But as you say, it doesn't really bother enough people to do that, but it did bother me. So obviously it's a sporty wheel, it's got a nice feel, and it has got the red stitching because it's a sports car. There it is. Oh my god. Did it reinstate the fact that these are probably, I'm going to say these are the best hot hatches ever made. I'm going to say it. Maybe not in terms of like rarity and in terms of money wise, but I think performance wise, I think, other than the R26R of course, but that's pretty much the same thing. I'm going to say it. And even if that's not true, that's my personal opinion and it makes me feel like that. So it's correct. Not because it's correct because I'm right everything, just because everyone's entitled to their own opinion sort of thing, that's all. So, if you want a chance to win this car, we do amazing odds. It's going to be around about £6 a ticket for this. So you can win this car for £6. Our last previous winners either got one ticket or a few, and they won the car. They didn't even believe it was possible for them to win. And I'm pretty sure you're sat there thinking, there's no way I'm going to win that. The other people thought the exact same thing because they even told me that on the phone call. It is very possible to win this car for £6. I wish I could enter, but legally I'm not allowed. But fortunately enough, I've got this car for a few days. So I'm going to be a happy boy for a few days. And I'm going to relive the 20-year-old Lee with his first turbo car, the blue R26. That was probably one of the best times of my life, and I'm thankful that that car was a part of it. And I'm pretty sure now that car played a massive part in that. So